everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder, and this is the show where we basically talk to comedians about sports. We got a lot, man. As I look at this stuff, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So, sir, get ready to get the show underway. First up, my man known as Talent. How you doing, sir? How's everything?
Stone Cold Blast on this side, man. Hold it down in the ATL, brother. Gotcha.
Oh. Well, I'm live from Foxborough since you want to be fancy. I'm just kidding. I wish I was in Foxborough right about that. Next up, my man known as Fig. What's cracking? How you doing, sir?
You can bet your last money, honey, is all going to be a Stone Gas, baby. Wishing you love. Peace.
All right, so let's get ready to get this show started, man, as we wait for the other dudes to jump in, man. And the first thing is we always do a COVID report, right? And the COVID report this week is it's been something, man. It's all a lot about the NBA this week, man. And at the beginning of the week, we were talking about the NBA players and the vaccination rate and everything else. Now, as of today, the NBA has now released a report saying that there's 95% of all the players, since of course training camp has opened up, 95% of all the players have now been vaccinated. That's a great report. And Draymond Green came out against Andrew Wiggins and said, man, listen, you can do what you feel about getting vaccinated. And if you want to get vaccinated, it's fine. If you don't want to, it's up to you. Do what you feel. And he's not going to, stand in the way of anybody else, getting vaccinated or not. So there's a lot of things coming out about vaccinations. Also, look at this. Dave, the business bullies jumped in. How you doing, sir? How's everything?
Feeling good. Unjabbed, unvaxxed, and unbossed.
Okay, there you go. So, Talent, let me talk to you first as we do the COVID report, man. What's your thoughts, take on this new report that the NBA is now released saying 95% of their players have now been vaccinated? What's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is people want their paychecks, right? People ain't playing around. We now have learned 95% of the NBA players want their damn money. Right? We're not gonna. You're not gonna have 200 Kyrie Irvings running around, and not gonna have 25 Wiggins. Nope, 95% of Negroes who need to be paid.
Yep.
I want my car note paid. I want my mortgage paid. These dogs got to eat. And my wifey and side chick costing me more than a small fortune.
Yep, that's exactly
I'm getting vaccinated.
And Fig, you know what that tells me? It tells me that 95% of the NBA players are not in the high echelon of being super paid like all the rest of those dudes, like the Kyrie Irving and stuff like that. So that's why I think the rate is so high with people being paid. Being vaccinated. It's like, just like Talent said, it's about that paycheck. What you think, Fig?
Hey man, if this was football, I would say that you're absolutely right. But the bottom level of NBA players make a decent salary, man. You know what I mean? It's not like pennies on the dollar. They make some real paper, and unless they're really, really irresponsible with their money, they can probably skip a year or something like that. But the vast majority of people that go to work, they do it for money. Like most people don't go to work for free. So if you don't get your vaccination and you don't work for yourself, like a few of us on here or the business bully, you about to lose your job.
Get this dance. Listen, every time you sing that I Get Paid, Sway the Remix God is one of my clients. Love that song.
Is that right?
You about to lose your job. Get this dance. Hey! Sing my song.
So
anyway.
Dave, I don't know if you agree with Fig or not. I understand what he's saying, but I think that the 95% of the NBA players cannot afford to lose a game check. And I think that's why the NBA was able to get that vaccination rate so high because, even though they may be paid, they cannot afford to miss that game check. So what's your take on this, Dave?
Well, Frank, I don't know exactly how you grew up. I know how Talent grew up, and I know how I grew up. And I have never ran into a $300 drug dealer who says, hey, this stuff's going to get you high. Now, here's how to not become dependent upon it. This is the NBA. The NBA operates like a $300 corner boy drug dealer. They're like, hey, look, groupies, money, gold chains, Rolls Royce. These are things that Negroes tend to like. So as a result, they're not going to tell them how to be financially independent. It's the same thing with the NFLPA. So yeah, 95% of them are like, yeah, we going to get this jab. And the 5% who aren't are the Kyrie Irvings of the world. And like, it is what it is. And a lot of that is due to poor money management. And I'm going to go put a bag at Jacob the jeweler. and give me some gold chains along with my dribbles. So
honestly,
now
that's
you get
right,
that
man.
jab.
Yeah, man. It's about paychecks, bro. That's what it's about. Paychecks.
Minimum salary for NBA players with at least 2 years is $1.6 million.
What? That's the league minimum?
But
that's for at least 2 years. I'm reading it right here, right now, is $1.6 million.
I'm not doubting that. But look up while you're looking at it. Look up right now how much you miss if you miss a game. You could be 1.6 million, but what's your game checks? If you don't, the new vaccination record instituted by the NBA is if you don't play, you don't get paid. It could be $10 million. It don't matter what the paycheck
But I mean,
is.
my only point is that if I was against the vaccine and I had a couple $1 million in the bank, I'd be like, I'm gonna be good.
Yeah, but they got a couple $1 million at Nordstrom's, a couple $1 million at the Range Rover dealership. That's the problem. They don't manage their money.
Let's
look at it like this.
Let's look at it like this. Dave.
Let's look at it like this. Let's say you get $2 million, right? Let's say you get $2 million. You get paid $2 million every 2 years, right? Off the top, $1.1 million is what you bring it home because taxes is right there, right? Off the top, $1.1 million. Then you take out your 15%. Then you take out your 10 to 15% for your agent deals. Now you're at $900,000. And then you take out the game checks. Now you're at $500,000. And then housing, let me finish. You got to take on housing, cars, everything else. My whole point is you can't afford to miss a game check. You just can't.
You, sir, are talking about those people who live in this world, the W-2 people, the people who have corporations and are smart enough to incorporate. They know how to manage their money a little differently. Tax at a different level. You can talk to me, man. I know a little something about how to save your money without giving Uncle Sam all of it.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's move on and let's move on to the next topic. Next topic is talent. I'm gonna start with you, man. Sage Steele, who I love looking at ESPN during the headlines, midday show and everything else. She came out and said she's really upset over ESPN because when it comes to the vaccination record, they basically gave her no option to take the vaccine. And she said that they painted her into the corner and everything else. And she's sitting back and getting ready to face another situation like how they almost had with, I don't want to say as bad as Rachel Nichols, but as bad as whereas she got painted into a corner. So she's upset. So the thought process is now with her camp and everything else, whether she should stay, go, and sue ESPN over how she got forced to take this vaccination record. So if you're Sage Steele and you're a woman in broadcasting, what do you think that she should do? She thinks she should stand up, or she should have been painted in the corner and do like everybody else? What do you think she should do, Count? What's your thoughts?
I think she should sue. It's America. Everybody should sue. It's just the country we live in. It's your American God-given right. They made up this system to sue. If it's vice versa, am I going to try to sue her ass? I think if you're in a position, sue. Read the Scarlett Johansson book of suing, because when you sue big business, most of the time, if you have the slightest point, they will settle to get rid of the madness. If you have the slightest point of the case, because it costs them more money dragging it out than to cut you a check, aka severance, and punitive damages.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Great point. Greg, what do you think she should do? Because this is, it's all about women and being in women in broadcasting and sports. What's your thoughts?
I love Sage Steele. She does a fantastic job. But if she wants to continue working there, she should probably just shut up and dribble. I mean, you can win a lot of money by suing, but it's very difficult to sue your employer without them eventually getting rid of you. It may not be right away, but somewhere down the line, they're going to figure out a way not to renew your contract. So if you want to stay working for said organization, you probably want to just sort of keep it quiet. But, everybody has choices.
Yeah. Dave, what's your take?
I have two. The first one is I think Sage Steele should look at the possibilities around her. If you don't want to take that jab, go to the place where they don't give a damn if you've got a jab or not. FS1.
Mhm.
Point blank and period. That's point number one. Point number two is ESPN has her by the short and curly. She is not Scarlett Johansson. Not that they would ever get confused in the lineup, but the thing of it is, Frank, with Stage Steele, because she has a lot of conservative views and she doesn't go along with, well, as you know, we's better not rocks the boat if we wants to stay employed. Black people ain't really rocking with her, who don't think for themselves. Meaning that if you're black and you have a differing opinion, it doesn't make you any less black. So she's already ostracized from the black community. She doesn't have the power Scarlett Johansson has to take on the mouse, and Scarlett Johansson's case settled just yesterday afternoon. So her only option is going to Fox Sports. But I thought we were protecting all black women, not just the ones we agree with.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I must disagree. She can come to the box seats. We'll take her.
Oh, we'll take that box. I mean, we'll take her all day at the box seats.
Yeah. So let me ask you all about the next topic, man. I heard right before we came on, the Women's Soccer League is having some kind of serious issue this morning. I didn't even have time to dive into the story like I want to. All I heard just now before we jumped in is that the Women's Soccer League is canceling all games this weekend, talent, all of them, because of some sexual assault allegation that's happening. So they canceled all games this weekend, talent. So what's your take on this, bro, when you hear, like, to me, it sounds like it could be pretty big. It could be something that's seriously deep. I still got to dive into this, but again,
man,
what's your take?
This is ludicrous. They cancel all the games.
All the games.
I wasn't watching them shits. Listen, I'm just keeping it real. My programming does not change, but I'm sure that the people that are engaged that were going to watch this is a big inconvenience to them. When you cancel all games, man, I mean, what message are you sending? You know what I mean? Because there's a reason you can cancel a game or selective games, but when you go across the board with all the games, I think there's a bigger underlying message here that we may be missing, or in between the lines, somebody's getting it. We may be missing it, but somebody's getting it. There's a big message being sent when you do something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Greg, what's your take on this?
Man, this thing has reached epidemic proportions because soccer is probably the most popular sport worldwide. I mean, all these other countries, like, they all participate in soccer, and it's a big thing. And it's preposterous to me because my grandson just was at soccer practice yesterday, and now they're canceling all of the games today. Something has to be done.
Okay, Dave, what's your take on this, bro?
I'm so confused by Fig. Unless your grandson identifies as a woman, I don't think he's affected. But go off. Paul Riley, the soccer coach from North Carolina. The reason that they're canceling all the games is because they have to launch a full-scale investigation, because since 2010, Franklin, this guy has been diddling and harassing and pinching, and this dude is literally R. Kelly of soccer, and this is the only sport.
Wow.
I mean, without, because R. Kelly also, sexually coerced some adult women. I know a few. Anyway, the thing with this dude is he's in a sport where women literally get to kick balls all day and nobody objects. And he's ruining the fantasies of most women by trying to capitalize on his own, Frank. So we need to stand with them and suffer through an entire weekend of no football. That's right. It's called football everywhere else. In America, we call it soccer.
Well, Thank you for looking it up. I appreciate that, because I didn't have time. I just saw it flash on right while we were jumping on. So
research, Frank. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I don't have enough people to help me research while I'm coming on the air at the same time. See the story.
Why is Talent laughing? I didn't.
Talent always.
You said research. That's why you're here.
Yeah, but why won't you take me seriously? I'm a fan. Why won't you take me seriously, bro?
No, I do, but that's not why you're here. You're here because you got a nice office chair. We need those in the background.
So
you can't see the back of nobody's chair but Dave's chair.
Yeah.
And my big ass.
Money chair.
This is a supervillain special, bro. It's me, Lex Luthor, and Thanos.
So the next thing up, man, is I got to talk about the NFL, man, because the NFL released some news yesterday that made me happier than I've been in a long time. And it's not that they are going to help the Patriots cheat. I don't know, no Patriots.
I don't say, don't your wife watch this show?
It's very funny.
What about Stacy, Frank? What about Stacy?
Here it is. Here it is. The reason why I got real happy. For the first time ever in NFL history, they are putting together a halftime show I actually want to watch. You know what I mean? Like, there've been a couple here and there that I haven't mind watching for the whole time, but they put out a release that the halftime show is going to be Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, and they all are going to perform at the Pepsi halftime show for the beginning of the for the halftime of the Super Bowl, which is taking place in LA. So, Talent, when you heard that lineup, besides a couple, we have had a couple of R&B artists, we have had some hip hop artists, but we've never had a halftime show like this, especially to this magnitude in SoFi Stadium. It's never happened before. What's your take when you hear it? Because I know you also you're a DJ on the side too, so I know you have to have like this on the. You have to like.
Well, I agree. It's a great lineup. Two words come to mind with the NFL is called about time.
Right.
It's like it took them 100 years to figure out that you don't have to give it to one artist. You know, you can collectively book all these big mega stars, put them together, it's the Super Bowl. So it should be super. You know what I mean? And we've been seeing this everywhere but the NFL for decades now. So it's about time they finally said, you know what? And I think what gave them the idea, if you pay attention to the last 2 or 3 performances, they would book a big artist, one artist, but that artist would bring 3-4 artists on stage. Mm-hmm. When you look at Maroon 5, because it was an ATL, they brought out several ATL artists, my man from Outkast, all these guys, they brought them out. So you're looking at 4 or 5 collaborated efforts. I think they finally got it. I mean, we get it. People at Pellet Ben got it, but I think that the powers that be say, you know what? We got X amount of time we're given to the halftime. We can do a medley. Let's grab 4 or 5 of these guys and let's bang it out. And obviously, since that meeting with Jay-Z, I got to give him credit. Since that collaborative meeting with Jay-Z, this is the first thing to come out of that big thing anyway. So it takes the Jay-Z and his team to get with them and go, no, you can do Kendrick Lamar. You can put Mary J. Blige up there to represent the ladies. You can do Dr. Dre, who got catalog out this world. Mm-hmm. So somebody's listening to somebody. So I'm with you, Frank. Kudos. I mean, I've been happy before this, but I'm happy again.
I like when you said that. Nice little jab, uppercut jab. I like that, Tom. I like that. Fig, I don't know about you, but I think they're gonna have one of the biggest ciphers, because we used to these with BET Hip Hop Awards and stuff like that. We used to hip hop ciphers and all this stuff. They might put together one of the biggest ciphers that it might be something new and all this. I don't know what you expect when you see the halftime show. I don't think they're gonna do all their hits. I think they're gonna come out with a dope cipher too. That's what I'm thinking. Make it be because Jay-Z, like Talon said, Jay-Z's involved. What you think, Fig?
Yo, man, I love it. It's Hovey, baby. I like to see them battle. That would be dope if they was going against back and forth. You know what I mean? That would be fire, man. I'd love to see it, man. It's about time that you get a little hip hop because quiet is kept. Hip hop is some of the most popular music in the world today, man. Not only in America, but also worldwide. People love their hip hop. It's had an influence everywhere where they have music. So it's about time you put them on the main stage and let it happen, baby. It's Hovey, baby.
Yeah.
Hovey.
So, Dave, as a producer, radio show producer, and person who worked behind the scenes in music for a very long time, bro, what's your take on this, man? Do you think we're going to see something like, something we haven't seen before? Do you think we're going to see something as huge as the magnitude as we saw with Prince? Because Prince, to me, I mean, everybody has their own favorite halftime, but when Prince was singing Purple Rain and it actually rained during the halftime special, I think he should. Michael Jackson was up there too, but Prince shut it down to me. I think this thing might rival that. What's your take on this, Dave?
Prince and Michael went head up, like just 2 of the greatest Super Bowl halftime performances ever. Mike was dancing on top of a jumbotron and then went off in a jetpack. Like, let's not do that. Prince actually made the rain purple. Like, that's epic. Here's my problem. See, to quote Martin Luther King from a show called The Boondocks, you Negroes have nothing to celebrate. Here's the gag. Jay-Z went in there sitting next to the commission. We know what the kneeling was about, right? We know what the kneeling was about. Okay. Then he put up Shakira and J-Lo. So now when my baby was crying and she was changed and fed and whatnot, you know what I gave her? A pacifier. Cap ain't got no job. All the brothers who stood with Cap ain't got no job. And Jay-Z was supposed to be our spook and sat by the door. I'm sorry. Yes, I like to get it crunk off all up in this dancery as well. I do. But there's a lot of hateration, holleration that's being overlooked because Negroes are so excited that Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, Dr. Dre, basically the Infinity Stones of West Coast hip hop are all going to be there. Oh yeah, and let's make sure that we toss Mary in there so we get all them good Dre tracks. Plus the special guests they're not announcing. It's going to be 12 minutes of pacification, and the Negroes are going to eat it up, and no one's going to think about police brutality and the NFL players who took a knee to stand up for our rights. But continue to celebrate.
That's a great way to look at it too. But Rodney Perry is joining the show too. Rodney, you've been listening for this, man. What's your take on the new NFL halftime announcement show with Dre? Let's see, we got Dre, we got Snoop, Mary J, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem. What's your take on this, Rodney? What you think?
Yeah, I was just reading about this, man. Look, Bully.
Huh? See, I knew it. I knew them hands was coming.
Calm down. Yo, it's like I tell my wife all the time. She still bring up stuff from 8-9 years ago I did. And when do we start to heal? Like, when do we start to go, okay, you did mess up 18,000 years ago, but this is a good look. This is an incredible look. We talk about Oscar so white, Emmy so white, Super Bowl halftime show so white, and then they do a black one, and you go, well, why they do the black like that? I can't believe it's black like that. So, I mean, I think that this is going to be a crazy look, a crazy concert. Kendrick's new music is ridiculous. Dr. Dre, Snoop ain't even got a Grammy, and he got a Super Bowl halftime. I love it, man. I think it's a good look.
Yeah, I don't know about y'all. I liked it, but now that Dave went spoiled my milk. Now I'm still thinking about
right, because I brought up facts that you guys forget because of juvenile Alzheimer's and the fact that you have a very slow recollection. That's my problem because I'm the youngest person on this dais. Frank, how dare you insult me? The other day, you forgot that your team deflates footballs and pays off referees. But continue to tell me about how I spoiled it for you by bringing up facts that you neglect.
Dave, continue to spoil my cereal milk. I appreciate that. Continue.
I'm just going to piss in your Cheerios. I'm sorry.
He urinated in your cereal bowl.
Excuse me. I feel another one coming on here.
Hey, whoa.
No, sorry. Too much? Okay, sorry. I got to put my Perry hands up. I understand.
I won't be eating that Frosted Flakes no more. All right, man, let's continue on.
You're no salty, but
hey, yo, that's
great.
You got prayer hands and you got Perry hands.
Yeah.
If you don't get a shirt.
So Cincinnati Bengals played last night against Jacksonville Jaguars, man. We got to do the game in review, man, and real fast, man. Cincinnati Bengals was down by 14, man, and they came back and won the game. And I watched the game. Actually, the game watched me a little bit on and off because it was kind of boring. I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of boring. But Cincinnati's turning it around. But this morning, guess what's happening? Everybody's complaining about Urban Meyer and saying if they continue on losing, he won't last the season. I don't know if I agree with that, man. Do you think Jacksonville Jaguars should fire Urban Meyer? Because we have this conversation all the time, and the players are not happy with him. Talent. What's your take on this, man? The players aren't happy with him. Jacksonville's not happy with him. The fans are not happy with him. But they're playing better. They just haven't won, but they're playing better. I can see.
Yeah. My message to Mr. Meyer is coach your games on this. You know what I mean? I think he's a little too sober. So all the stress is getting to him. One of those cookies. Are you coaching like this?
One cookie.
Every interception. It's cool. We'll get it back. I think if it was another team, Frank, I might be like, yeah, fire him. But I think you can't fire a coach when they're on par with the talent of the team, so to speak. This is not a team that was great last year and then he came in and stunk it up. This is a team that needed a lot of work and a lot of building, and he's part of the building. So I think you need to give him some time and, time it out. All things are, relative, bro. I hate when people apply this one recipe and blueprint to everything. You can't in this case. In this case, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Great point. Fig, what's your take, bro?
Urban Meyer is finally finding out what it really means to beat Urban.
Mm.
Yo, man, it's like Talon said, man. Nobody was checking for the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. Y'all been losing all along. You got a rookie quarterback. You got a horrible line. You got a brand new coach, a brand new team, a brand new system, and you're expecting to beat who at what? What do you expect? It's 3 games in. It's a 17-game season. I'd be surprised if they win 5. Because there was a lot of years when Cleveland was winning 1 game a year. So if Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars and the brand new quarterback and the brand new team and a brand new system happens to get off 2 to 3, maybe 5 wins, celebrate.
Okay. Let me jump. Look like Mike Sean's joined the show. Mike, how you doing, sir?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
All right, so let me go to Dave. Dave, what's your take on Cincinnati and the Jaguars game? Do you think they should be talking about firing Urban Meyer right now? You think there should be a discussion? What's your thoughts?
I don't know what Jacksonville Jaguars team you guys are watching, but the Jacksonville Jaguars are absolutely flawless in Madden 95 for Sega Genesis. So, like, I think Urban Meyer is exactly who he is. He thinks he's the Joker, and he's going to have trials. He's pitting people against each other. Listen, every time we do this show, Frank, we don't do this show because we like and respect you. We do this show because we want to keep our chops sharp and take each other's heads off with jokes. That's why we're here, Frank. That's it. And that's the whole thing. So you either are playing well because of the coach, or you're playing well in spite of the coach. So box seats, Jaguars, same thing. So at this point, they don't even respect him, and he has them so psychologically jacked up in such a way that they don't feel safe, they don't feel respected. He's treating them like children. That's why they suck, Frank. It's quite simple.
Woo, Dave is on one. He's on one today. Rodney, talk
to another level.
Yeah.
First of all, shouts out to the business bully. Looks like he didn't get a chance to dye himself up this week. And
I don't doubt myself. I pay people for that, but continue.
Should Urban Meyer be fired? I mean, the Jaguars were bad last year, and they're going to be bad next year. And it takes a couple of years to get a team together. You're going to start over with some new guy that you're going to end up firing next year. So let the man go down with the ship, and maybe he can write the course over the next couple of months.
Right. Mike, the problem is in the NFL, they don't seem to give you as a coach enough time like they used to. Now it's like your leash is a whole lot shorter. So people talking about firing Urban Meyer. What's your take?
I just want to co-sign what Rodney said. I mean, for anybody who watched the game, they played well last night. They lost on a field goal to the Bengals. Like, I don't understand what this rush is about firing this guy. A lot of people already had a bias against Urban Meyer from being in college. If you hated him in college, you've continued to hate him in the NFL. Give him a year. Jimmy Johnson with the Cowboys won 1 game his first year. They were getting their asses beat with Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, and Emmitt Smith. They were getting their asses beat. So just give the guy a year to change the culture and see what you can do.
Yeah, that's what I think. The other big game this week, man, everybody's talking about is the game I'm looking forward to myself. The Patriots playing the Bucs this week. I'm so sick of hearing about it, though. I'd just rather have them play the damn game. What's your take on the Patriots versus the Bucs this week, Alan? Talk to me. Tell me what your thoughts are right now. Whether you see, I see an annihilation. I see the Bucs coming in there, but they a little bit beat up. I see the Bucs coming in and doing their thing. I'm not rooting for them, obviously, but I think it's gonna be one-sided. But what's your take on the Patriots versus the Bucs game in review?
It's a wonderful thing. It's like Christmas. It's Christmas, bro. It's another opportunity to talk smack and drag your ass through the mud of our long-term argument. So I get to humiliate you verbally, Frank, so I can't wait. You know what I mean? Guys like you, Michael Sean, and Dave, all you smart, intellectual guys, like hood guys like me can't wait to talk shit to y'all. So my Brady argument stands up against your Belichick argument. I get to talk smack. You're right. It's going to be an annihilation.
I'm not liking the talent today, bro. Fig, what's your take on it?
It's like Talon said indirectly. It's going to be a arse whipping of epidemic proportions. When somebody comes into your house and drag you all over the field because you did them dirty, what goes around comes around. Belichick been dishing out a whole lot of stuff, man, over the years, man, and he finally getting his due. And plus, he did my man Cam dirty. Had Cam out there last year with a half a team and had 7 wins. Now you get half a team back. Now you got a whole team, and you don't even give them a shot to play. I'm like, come on, man. That's dirty. Bill been doing people dirty. Had my man sitting on the sideline doing the Super Bowl crying with his whole family in the stands. You're going to get yours Sunday, Billy. You're going to get it Sunday, Billy.
Dave, what's your take on this, bro?
Quite frankly, Frank, there is, I want to give talent an education real quick. There is a story called Oedipus. And the thing about Oedipus that's so interesting is the moral of the story is you meet your ass whipping on the road you take to avoid it. And guess what? Tom Brady is going to whoop up on Bill Belichick. And that's a completely different point than the one that Fig made because I just refuse to agree with him. And so that's it. It's completely. It's going to be a joyous occasion come Monday, and we do this show, and you're going to be crying and listening to Brian McKnight in your headphones like a little girl in an after-school special about date rape. I'm just excited about it, Frank.
I was wondering where you're going with this Oedipus thing. I just didn't see it, but okay.
Well, I mean, it's not like I want to sleep with your mom, Frank. So where else would I go with it, sir?
I appreciate that. That's low, but I appreciate that. Okay, all right, Rodney, what's your take, bro?
Hey man, it's an easy call to say that Tom Brady and the hobbled Bucs are going to come into Foxborough and win, but that's no guarantee. I mean, the Bucs are their secondary is hurt and beat up, and they could easily go in there in Boston and get their butts whooped. We always ask the question, coach versus player, great coach versus great player. I think we're going to find out great coaching is a win this weekend.
Man, Rodney, say that again, Rodney. Say that again, Rodney Perry. I don't think Tyler heard you. Hold on, let me bring him back into the show. Tyler, did you hear what he said?
No.
He's taking great coaching.
Wait a minute, I got a question. Hey, Rodney, if you had to put money on it.
Hold on, let Mike.
He don't pay his money bets, no way.
Mike, talk to me. Tell me.
Oh, y'all $5 still, huh?
Oh, I'm not gonna pick New England, but I'm gonna tell you it's gonna be a lot closer game than what everybody thinks. I'm just gonna tell you, Bill Belichick. You can say whatever you want. Everybody, it's on some kill Bill Belichick. I'm not a Belichick fan, but I'm going to tell you this. Let's remember, he's the only one who thought to keep Tom Brady as a starting quarterback. Without Bill Belichick, Tom Brady does not exist right now. Bill sat up there and had an all-pro, Pro Bowl quarterback come back in Drew Bledsoe, and he made the greatest choice ever by a head coach by keeping Tom Brady in there. I think he should get some credit for that, even though they're killing him right now. He should also get credit for formulating a defense that shut down the St. Louis Rams that were the greatest offense on turf, and he's done amazing things. Now, when I take Tom, Bill Belichick is the greatest head coach to ever coach in the NFL. Point blank.
He did that to the Rams. He did that to the Rams twice. He got the Patriots first 3 Super Bowls like that. But I will say this: when he was going through, let me just finish. When he was going through,
I didn't finish. What do you mean? Let me just finish.
He's talking about his God. You can't interrupt a man when he's testifying, Michael Sean. This is his God.
No, I was just gonna say. I'll just throw it out there and say one thing and leave it at this one thing. Drew Bledsoe was playing. Tom Brady got picked. People up here in New England were murdering Bill Belichick, but people don't even realize they hated him for that. Like he went through a whole until obviously Tom Brady won the Super Bowl. But Mike, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Hey, Frank, how did the Boston react when they brought in Johnny Gill for?
I'm about to mute Rodney Perry. Go ahead, Mike. Finish what you're saying. What was your thought?
But Bill Belichick's ego got caught up. First of all, Boston reacted very poorly. I remember when Johnny Gill first joined New Edition. That was not something that was supported thoroughly in Boston.
Right.
He had to earn his stripes, Dan Rodney. He earned his stripes.
They hated him. They hated it. All right, next up, man. Let's talk about this.
We're going to talk about how great Bill Belichick is and how he beat some of the greatest teams ever, but we're not going to talk about the fact that he was filming their whole walkthrough and cheated like the whole time. We're not going to mention none of that, right?
Because that brings in a whole nother conversation, and they're not the only team.
No, you got to give Bill Belichick. I don't take nothing away from him. Even though I picked in this situation the greatest player over the greatest, you got to give him his props. Well, a lot of people don't know a lot of great things that he did. Yeah, you know about the Super Bowls, you know about Brady, but did you know, Rodney, that it was Belichick who handpicked Johnny Gill to come in?
Is that right? I didn't know that. Hey, and here's another tidbit, talent. I don't know if you knew this, that Bill Belichick actually did Fig's hair this week.
Wait a second.
Hey, Rodney, I was trying to keep that undercover, man.
Frank, you didn't even know that information, Frank. Thank you. Ralph Tresvant wanted Peebo Bryson.
Ralph Tresvant wanted Peebo.
Little known fact, guys. Bill Belichick also recorded all New Edition's dance moves and gave them to New Kids on the Block. Did you know that he gave them to New Kids on the Block?
I've always heard that, but I didn't know. I didn't know if it was true.
All right. Since we're being funny today, let me throw you all out something that made me laugh this morning too. Joel Embiid got up there this morning and actually said Ben Simmons is completely being disrespectful to the team. I laughed at that part. I was like, this fool right here actually going to say that in public. Talent. I know we ain't the greatest Joel Embiid fans and everything else, but in his accent, he came out there and actually said Ben Simmons is being disrespectful. I was like, boy, fool, is you crazy? What's your take on this, man? What you think?
Well, this is nothing but a new filming of School Days 2. This is dark skin versus light skin at its finest.
Jigaboo, 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 jigaboo.
Oh my God.
First of all, they've been going at it on social media, taking little swipes at each other back and forth. And it's just a case of the 1-2 thing. This reminds me of OKC and Westbrook, KD, when it started to bubble to the top, where you knew KD, somebody had to go eventually. This is where they are now. Like, they both believe they're number ones, even though there's a Batman and a Robin. And I'm telling you, the way that last season ended was the icing on the overall cake. And they've proven they can't coexist now.
Yeah, all right. I agree with that one, man. What you think, Fig?
Joel Embiid is smarter than people give him credit for. He went out, got himself a roadie, some oxtails, and some curry goat, and came back and said, I'm going to make sure Ben Simmons ain't coming back to this team. I'm going to throw some stuff out there. Y'all ain't getting him back. I'm getting him out of here. He don't want him back. So all the stuff he's saying about it is making Ben Simmons hot. And when you know light-skinned people get hot, they get red in the face. And he get pissed off. He's like, I ain't coming back, man. I don't care what y'all say. I'll sit the whole year out. But I'm not playing with Joel Embiid. I'm not coming back because you a wannabe just like me. And you a jigaboo just like you.
Jay, what you think, man? You think the take is the same thing? Because you're in Philly, man. I know what you think. It sounds like it's worse than what it really is. What's your take?
First of all, the fact that the 76ers have to spend another $150,000 per season on Joel Embiid's interpreter, because listening to him makes you miss the days of listening to Shaquille O'Neal and Magic Johnson mumble through interviews. I am so sick of being a Sixers fan today. First of all, you already know, and I promised the light-skinned delegation that I would not make any jokes about Ben Simmons' lack of pigmentation.
Right.
But I didn't promise anything about this dag-on reject from the Planet of the Apes talking about somebody's borderline disrespectful. Have you ever been in the same room with Joel Embiid? His body odor is damn near disrespectful.
No,
Joel Embiid's lack of respect for the English language is damn near disrespectful. What he should have done is got himself in the Wakandan Quinjet, went over there and begged Ben Simmons to come through, because obviously the front office has no choice because they painted themselves into a corner. But 2 days ago, this is the problem with his flip-floppy behind, which is exactly why we don't ever get past the first round of the playoffs, is because he goes, we really need him here. Now all of a sudden, what he said was damn near disrespectful. Excuse me, T'Challa?
Woo, he's on one today. Rodney, what you think, bro? Woo.
Man, it's not just Embiid. It's Doc Rivers. I mean, people have said some horrible things to and about this guy publicly, and him wanting to go is a natural repercussion of that. But how about this, man? I mean, it's just like it seems like everybody belly aching over there. Like I said the other day, man. When you get your ass whooped, that's when you start pointing fingers at everybody. Everybody's stupid. Everybody dumb. Joel Embiid. And how about this? And I think the bully alluded to this. This may be cultural, right? My daughter is running track now. She's on the team with some young ladies from other parts of the world, and it's not beyond people that aren't American to feel like Americans are lazy and not working hard enough. And I think they're going through that as well with Embiid being the main guy and him feeling like that Ben Simmons is not working hard enough to be his one or two or three or whatever.
Ben from Australia.
Yeah, that's true too. Mike, what's your take?
I always say the NBA, I applaud the power that the NBA players have, and I will always support them on that. But it gets ridiculous when you play at a high level, you demand a trade. I understand. But when you suck and demand a trade, I don't understand.
How you do that?
Like, I don't get it. Like, when you play poorly, you can demand a trade too. Like, I know Ben Simmons has all-star talent, but he played horribly and then has the nerve to stamp his foot and say, I want out. Like, that's where the NBA is getting, where the players are starting to lose focus and are starting to abuse this power. Like, my thing is like, no, the Sixers shouldn't trade his ass or be forced to trade him. You should have to play your contract out. Mm-hmm. You should not be able to do this in the NBA. And Adam Silver is setting a bad precedent if he allows this to happen. Well, Ben Simmons gets to railroad a team who invested their whole future in you, and you don't provide the services, and then you get to force their hand. There's something wrong with that dynamic in the NBA, y'all. There's something wrong with that.
Yo, I 100% agree with that take, because remember the Sixers had, well, I forgot the kid who they drafted the year that Jason Tatum came out. That kid was supposed to be number one, and they I forgot the name of that kid. I forgot his name. And
they had to fix his jump shot. It was I forget his name.
You want a guy that don't want to be there though.
Yeah, that's true. But
there's tons of, but my thing is like, so once you don't want to be there, you get to demand a trade now.
No, so but he demanded a trade after they said we don't want your ass.
No, they still wanted him.
On the flip side,
Doc Rivers on record just saying that we could do without him, and his guy he didn't say, man, get me out of here after that.
So Doc Rivers did say, they said, well, is he a championship point guard? And he said, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
he said. So now if you say the
coach says, what you mean? The fuck? Man,
you know what? Phil Jackson. Wait. Phil Jackson said Kobe Bryant was selfish as hell. Phil Jackson laid into Kobe Bryant in a whole book. Like, you're saying if I say the wrong thing about you now, you can demand a trade?
But organizations trade you whether you have a contract or not. They trade you all the time.
No, they trade you when you have a contract. They can't trade you without a contract.
That's what I'm saying. If you got a contract, they trade you all the time. So we're gonna put all the power in the organization, but the players don't have no power. I'm all for the players exercising whatever power they can wield.
Fig, you ready for that? You ready for the top dog?
Yeah, let's do it, baby. I'm sexy with it.
Go ahead, let's go.
All right, Joe. What the hell? Oh, here we go. I'm back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Top Dogs for the week. You know we always do. This is my Top Dogs What's yours? Number 1 on my list, I got my girl Alyssa Thomas. She dropped 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists, leading the Connecticut Sun over the Chicago Sky 79-68 to even the series 1-1. They in the playoffs, y'all. The WNBA, they be getting down. Second on my list is Raquana Williams. She put on the show, dropping 26 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists to lift the Las Vegas Aces over the Phoenix Mercury 96-90 to take a 1-0 lead in the playoff series. Number 3 on my list is Odalis Garcia. He hit 2 home runs for a total of 31 and sets the Texas rookie record for home runs in a single season while leading the Texas Rangers over the California Angels 7-6. Number 4 on my list is Dakota Rain Prescott. They call him Dak. He was doing the damn thing for the Cowboys, threw for 238 yards, 3 touchdowns, beat up on the Eagles 41-21. Were they playing basketball? 5th on my list, I got to give it to the man. He did the damn thing. My man Joe Burrow, after having a pedestrian first half, he went on and scoring absolutely no points in the first half last night. He went on for passing for 348 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for the comeback win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, 24-21. My man Joe Burrow doing the damn thing. That's my 5 top dogs. Y'all tell me what's yours.
Hey, Fid, you put in Joe Burrow. Who did you take out?
Say what?
You got Joe Burrow. Who did you take out?
I didn't take
Because that was just
nobody.
last night. Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, I put him in. Yeah.
All right, Talent, let me start with you, man. I want to get this last question in real fast before we wrap this thing up, man. Talent. Steve Kerr got appointed the USA basketball coach. A lot of NBA players amongst, circles and everything else are not too happy with Steve Kerr being a basketball coach because they don't think he's one of the best basketball coaches out there. A lot of people wanted that Miami Heat coach. I forgot his name.
Postra.
Yeah. So people wanted him. Steve Kerr as the USA basketball coach. What's your take on that, Talent? Because personally, in my opinion, I don't like it at all. What's your take? Can't hear you, Talent.
What? Humidity.
Complexion. Well, I got the right complexion, Frank. Let's face it. If you had to look at a look of the NBA coach, the look is Steve Kerr. That's the look. They're right. There's better coaches out there. I'm not a big fan of Spoelstra either, but better than Kerr. I don't think Kerr is a dope coach. I think, there's a lot to be said about coaches who are successful because of the talent caliber, i.e. our original argument. You take away the great talent around some of these guys. Are they really a good coach? I doubt it. I think if you take, Steve Kerr, you put him on one of those teams that are struggling right now, they continue to struggle. We don't make them any better. So, yeah, I can see some people saying, we could have picked better. We don't like it. So I would be on that bandwagon.
Okay. Fig, what's your take?
Oh, I don't get it, man. Steve Kerr, man, he came up through the ranks with the Bulls, the Spurs, won championships there, was assistant coach, finally got the job as Golden State, took them to, 4 or 5 finals and won 3 out of 5. I don't know why he's a bad coach. I don't know if it's a personality thing. Maybe it's a Golden State thing because Golden State been kicking behind for the last 5 years when all the stars were healthy. So I don't know where all the hate is coming from. The man has been doing the damn thing, and it's like he paid his dues before he got to coach, and he's been winning on every level.
I could really create an argument with you because people would say that Mark.
Frank, every time I say something, you always say you can create an argument. Let's hear that argument. Let's hear it. Because you always say you can do it, and then you move on. You never say nothing. So what's your argument?
Mark Jackson put together that team that Steve Kerr did. Mark Jackson put together that team that Steve Kerr ended up winning with Golden State. So there, I said it.
That's a fact.
He didn't draft them.
He still had to win.
Get out of here, man.
Dave, what's your take?
I'm just going to say, am I the only person that realizes that Steve Kerr is replacing Popovich and Steve Kerr was also in his coaching staff for Team USA? Like, does anybody like prep for this show?
He was
like when I have an opening in one of my businesses, I'm going to look for somebody who's already in my system to take over the person who is leaving or I've unceremoniously fired. This is not anything. I don't think it requires a Farrakhanian approach to this. I don't necessarily agree with Talent and think that it's a race thing or a complexion thing as much as it is. He already knows the system. He already had it in, and that's his boy. And I mean, that's just how it should be. You know,
so when you change barbers, do you think
and I don't agree with you either. So, and to go back to Fig's point, my point again is Steve Kerr is not a great coach.
My hair happens.
Roger Perry, yeah, everybody has their own opinion, just like yours.
Thank you.
And your opinion is yours, and mine is mine. Roger, what's your take?
It's opinion show.
Oh God.
I'm absolutely a Mark Jackson fan. I get the argument that Mark Jackson built that team. He did. He gave them the thing that makes you believe you can win, but they still had to be coached for several seasons beyond that. And Steve Kerr did an excellent job. He comes out of the Popovich coaching tree. He's a top-notch, top-tier coach, and it's been worse guys get that job. I mean, Team USA ain't a great job. And for him to get it, I think that's a good look. As long as they don't give it to the Knicks coach.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Who drafted Draymond Green? Who drafted Steph Curry? Who drafted all those guys and ended up winning all those championships?
Mark Jackson didn't draft those guys.
He wasn't the actual person.
He did not draft those guys.
Who drafted them?
The GM that fired him drafted them.
Okay. Who was the coach when they got drafted?
How about this?
Yeah,
Did Phil Jackson build the Bulls?
No.
Doug Collins did. Who's a better coach?
We're not talking about that right now.
Well, I'm just letting you know, to be the USA basketball coach, you have to have experience in one thing: handling the best players at your sport. And nobody's handled more of the best players than Steve Kerr. He knows how to deal with egos. And if we talk about talent and coaching, well, Greg Popovich is a great coach. But it's funny how since Kawhi Leonard left and Tim Duncan left and Tony Parker left, all of a sudden he ain't that dope a coach with the Spurs. So let's be clear. I love Mark Jackson.
Hold
on. Steve Kerr is a great coach because Phil Jackson has never coached a team that didn't consist of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Kobe Bryant, or Shaq.
I'm not going to let you blaspheme. That's blasphemous about Popovich. Are you crazy? When you pick dudes that are 76 on the list and make them perennial all-stars and champions.
Who was 76, Talent? Wait a minute, Talent.
Who did you make that up?
Ginobili was the 16th round, number 76.
Okay.
And became the baddest dude in the game.
And Tony Parker. Tony Parker wasn't even in the draft. If I remember, I think
Kawhi Leonard wasn't that dude when he first got drafted either.
How dare you? And Mark Jackson was in that office for every pick on the Golden State Warriors. And you notice they started winning directly the season they ousted him. Fuck out of here. FOH. Know your shit. Bully. Does anybody do research on this show?
Apparently not, Talent.
Right.
All right, we get ready to roll up out of here, man. That's what we gotta do. Talent, tell everybody out there how to get followed, even though you don't want to get followed. Talent, go ahead and talk.
By the way, your barber did an excellent job, T.
Yes, sir.
Follow me at Mike Sean Comedy.
This is gonna be
This is my last show this week.
You done for the week?
That's
He's out of here.
Don't call me till Monday, Frank.
I won't call you Monday.
Wow.
Fig, talk to me. Tell everybody how to
You can follow me at DaveDeBullyResearch.com or on Boxy's Monday through Friday.
Talent, you want another shot to tell everybody out there how they can follow you?
No.
You got a show this weekend?
If anybody got family in Atlanta, come check your boy out. The New York Kings at the Atlanta Comedy Theater.
I'm coming through.
Yeah, we killed it last night. We got 2 tonight, 7 and 10. 2 tomorrow, 7 and 10. Last one, 7 o'clock on Sunday. Shout out to my homies, Mark Vieira, Rob Stapleton, Capone. Come see us, man. New York Kings in Atlanta.
Dave, talk to me.
Yeah, man. You can follow me at the Business Bully. Also happened to just signed a gig with Rodney Perry. I'm going to be a featured comedian at the Catch These Hands, Slow It Down comedy tour. Excited about that. Come into a broom closet near you. We're gonna sell that thing out too.
Man, unbelievable. Rodney, talk to me.
Hey man, to be honest, Frank, I really don't want anybody to follow me this weekend. I'm gonna be doing some foul stuff, and I don't want nobody looking where I'm at, what I'm doing. And if my wife happens to ask you if you see me, just say no.
Mike, talk to me.
Oh.
Well, if I could just tell you what happened in my comedy show last night, you would understand why I don't want nobody to follow me either.
Oh Lord.
Mike,
no one has given a handle yet.
Yeah, not one person.
At Mike Sean Comedy. What'd you say, Talent?
I called you.
Oh, I saw the text message. I'm gonna call you back right after we get off.
All
right.
That's
Mike
the
Sean
show.
Comedy.
Box Seats is the show. Humor Mill is the channel. Box Seats is also repeated 3 to 4 on the Humor Mill channel every day, Monday through Friday. Monday we're gonna do the recap. I can't wait to Monday because if the Patriots beat the Bucs, we're gonna do an extra special edition on what I'm gonna be in town.
It's what we call first mute everybody while we sit and watch.
If they lose, we might do 2 or 3 minutes short.
Wait a minute, pause. I'm gonna be in Talent's ass. This is where I draw the line. I'm out of here.
It's not gonna be. It's in Talent's ass.
It's gonna be in Talent's ass. Stakeholders in Talent's ass, y'all.
Phone call.
I can't take it, y'all. We out. We'll see y'all Monday, man. Peace.